So we're talking about lattices and quick demo of how to create them, how to animate them, some ideas, just trying to stay efficient with them, making them clean. I'm going to do something where I want to put a bend in this arm. So I'm going to select my geo just for what I want to affect. I'm going to go to Create Deformers and then Lattice. And so we can go to the option box. It doesn't really matter because everything that's in here, as long as you create it and you don't manipulate it, you can do this stuff later. But you can do this manually. You can group the lattice and the base together. I like to group them. One thing I'm not going to do, because it's always risky, auto parenting to the selection. Sometimes it just produces really weird results, especially when you have like multiple pieces of geometry. And plus, I like to constrain them to actual controls rather than geo. So we're going to go ahead and hit Apply, Show Deformers. If you guys are working where like you want to make sure you're not able to select certain stuff, since the rig controls are NURBS curves, and you want to turn the geo off just so you're not accidentally selecting the geo. This is for deformers, and this is for NURBS curves. So we have our lattice, and it's in a group, which is really cool because now we can move this lattice around. You have the base, which this base section basically is saying like what area of this are we actually affecting? Like where is our limits? And then you have like the actual lattice, which is what it's actually doing, how it's manipulating it. And you'll notice when I hit this base and I'm start scaling it around and start moving it around that it's like got these like weird results that start happening. Like I don't see any reason really to like separate these two things. So that's why they're grouped. And we have a nice section here where it's like aligned to what we're trying to manipulate. The next step is to parent it to somewhere on the rig. So it's really important to make sure you parent this stuff to a controller. And so since I like doing things to kind of what I'm going to be manipulating, I'm going to constrain this to the elbow joint of the FK. To do that, make sure we select our parent first. So the thing that we want to use to move the lattice around, we select that first, and then the thing we want to be moved around, we select next. And so I'm going to go to the outliner here. I'm going to hit Control. I'm selecting this first. I'm going to Control select the lattice group, and then I'm going to go to Constrain, Parent, and I want to make sure I maintain the offset because if I don't, it's going to snap to the control, and then it's going to throw off all this stuff that we've kind of made here. So there we go. We've got it constrained. So now you look, and when we move this around, it's following it perfectly. So next is what actually we want to do. Let's just say I want to put a bend in the arm. Nothing too complicated, but something that the rig cannot do right now. So that's why we put the lattice here. Super important, another thing of prep that we're going to be doing here is we're going to select all of our lattice points first, and we're going to key them. I'm going to hit S. So I'm going to go to another frame because I want this to animate, and I'm going to start putting my bend in it. When you're thinking about what kind of bend or squash or scale you want to do, it's really important to think about exactly what you're planning on doing. Since I'm putting a bend in here, you're always wanting to put just as little control as possible, because when you start complicating this further, you start running into more and more trouble as you go. So this is all I need. I just need a middle one and then like this and this just for like a curve. So make sure I go to the next frame. I'm going to put my bend. And you can go in through here later and be like, okay, I really do want to like tweak this maybe a little bit more. Maybe I want to have like this section of the bend be a little bit more of an S-curvy type thing. All right. So now I'm going to select my CVs again. I'm going to hit key, and I'm going to look, and now we've got a lattice that's animating. You click on all of your lattice points, and you're like, okay, here's the graph editor. Where's the keys? What happened? What happened to my animation? Where is it? Well, you got to go through here and manually select everything. I don't know why, but you do. So here are our keys. We can grab them and shift this stuff around. No problem.